Depression is a common and serious mental health disorder. It affects millions globally. The World Health Organization calls it the leading cause of disability. Nearly 10% of US adults experience depression. Despite its prevalence, it is often misunderstood and stigmatized. Depression is a medical illness, not a sign of weakness. It is more than just feeling sad occasionally. It affects thoughts, feelings, behavior, and health. Symptoms vary in severity and duration. Sadness is temporary, linked to specific events. Clinical depression is persistent and pervasive. It interferes with daily life. Understanding the difference is crucial for seeking help. If you experience persistent symptoms, reach out to a healthcare professional. We all experience sadness from time to time. It's a natural human emotion that arises in response to loss, disappointment, or challenging life events. Sadness is usually temporary and fades as we process and cope with the situation. It doesn't typically interfere significantly with our daily functioning. Clinical depression, however, is a distinct medical condition. It is characterized by persistent and pervasive feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness that last for at least 2 weeks and significantly impact daily life. Unlike sadness, depression doesn't necessarily have a clear trigger. It can linger even in the absence of any obvious external stressors. Differentiating between sadness and depression is vital for seeking appropriate support. While sadness can often be managed with self-care strategies and support from loved ones, clinical depression typically requires professional intervention. If you're unsure whether your experience aligns with sadness or depression, it's always best to consult with a healthcare professional for a proper diagnosis. Depression can manifest in a variety of ways, making it sometimes challenging to recognize. While sadness is a hallmark symptom, it's not the only indicator. The DSM-5 outlines criteria for diagnosing major depressive disorder. An individual must experience 5 or more symptoms for at least 2 weeks. Depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day. Markedly diminished interest or pleasure in activities. Significant weight loss or gain, changes in appetite. Insomnia or hypersomnia nearly every day. Psychomotor agitation or retardation. Fatigue or loss of energy. Feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt, diminished ability to think or concentrate, recurrent thoughts of death or suicide. If you recognize these symptoms, seek professional help. While often considered a mental health disorder, depression also has profound physical effects on the brain. Research has shown that depression is associated with structural and functional changes in several key areas of the brain, including the hippocampus. This area is responsible for learning, memory, and emotional regulation. In people with depression, the hippocampus tends to be smaller in volume, the prefrontal cortex. This region plays a crucial role in executive functions, decision-making, and planning. Depression can impair activity in the prefrontal cortex, making it challenging to concentrate, make decisions, and regulate emotions. The amygdala. This area is involved in processing emotions, particularly fear and anxiety. In depression, the amygdala can become overactive, leading to heightened emotional reactivity and a negativity bias. These structural and functional changes are thought to be driven by a complex interplay of genetic, biological, and environmental factors. For instance, imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine, which are chemical messengers in the brain, are implicated in depression. Furthermore, chronic stress, which is a significant risk factor for depression, can lead to elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol. This can have a toxic effect on the brain, contributing to the structural and functional changes observed in depression.